There's a lot of people grabbing their ears, baby was screaming, people were holding their nose.
As Delta Flight 1930 soared above 10,000 feet, what started as a routine trip quickly turned into a nightmare. Passengers clutched their heads in agony as the cabin pressure dropped, causing ears to bleed and noses to gush with blood. Panic spread through the aisles as one passenger, J.C. Purser, felt the alarming sensation of blood trickling from her ear.
At first, my ear was just popping over and over and over, and then I got like a stabbing sensation. It felt like I was being stabbed in my ear.
While others scrambled to help those in distress, little did they know, this terrifying ordeal was just beginning. But, hey. Before we dive into the story, do yourself a favor and pause the video right now. Go hit that like button and let's see if we can make this video reach 1,000 likes. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to your favorite story channel. Also, make sure to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest and weirdest stories. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming your way. Now, sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed as we take you on an unforgettable ride. Don't forget to engage with us in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Without further ado, let's dive right in. On a typical Sunday, 140 passengers boarded Delta Airlines Flight 1930, departing from Salt Lake City, Utah, bound for Portland, Oregon. It was supposed to be a routine flight, a quick journey for many heading home or traveling for business. But what unfolded midair left several passengers terrified, and some bleeding, as an unexpected technical failure led to a nightmarish ordeal. The flight began smoothly, the usual hum of engines blending with the low chatter of passengers settling into their seats. As the plane ascended into the skies, everything seemed perfectly normal. However, about 30 minutes into the flight, as the plane climbed above 10,000 feet, something went terribly wrong. Without warning, the cabin pressure began to drop. While pressurization systems are usually a silent hero in air travel, keeping passengers comfortable at high altitudes, this time, something malfunctioned. The air inside the cabin thinned, and passengers quickly realized something was wrong. A faint hissing sound filled the air, followed by an intense pressure building inside their ears. For many, it started as a dull ache but quickly escalated into sharp, searing pain.
The plane would go higher and then it would drop down. And then it would go higher and it kind of dropped down. And you could tell something wasn't right, but they weren't saying anything.
The cabin grew eerily quiet as passengers clutched their heads, trying to ease the discomfort. But for some, the situation became even more alarming as blood began to flow from their ears and noses. One of the passengers, J.C. Purser, recounted the moment her own body reacted to the pressure. "It felt like my ear was bubbling," she said, her voice still trembling with disbelief.
It felt like somebody was stabbing me in the ear.
"I reached up and touched my ear, and there was blood coming out." As she looked around, she saw other passengers in a similar state, wincing in pain, holding tissues or napkins to their bleeding noses and ears. Seated a few rows back, Corinne Allen witnessed the distress firsthand. "I turned around and saw a man behind me with a terrible nosebleed. Everyone around him was trying to help, but there wasn't much we could do up there," Allen told local news.
A gentleman about a row in front of me to the side, he said, "Can I get a tissue?" And I looked out over at him and there's blood coming out of his ear, running down his face. And it's like, man, this is not good.
The fear in the cabin was palpable. Flight attendants, trained for emergencies, swiftly moved down the aisles, doing their best to calm passengers and assist those in distress. Some passed out oxygen masks, while others called for medical help over the intercom. Though there was panic among the passengers, the flight crew remained calm and collected. They knew something had gone wrong with the pressurization system, but were following protocol to keep everyone safe. Quickly assessing the situation, the pilots made the decision to abandon the flight's path to Portland and return to Salt Lake City. They descended to a safer altitude, where the air pressure was closer to what passengers would experience on the ground, providing immediate relief from the intense pain in their ears.
They did announce that they were returning to the Salt Lake airport, but they still didn't tell us what was wrong.
Delta Airlines later explained that the flight had been unable to pressurize above 10,000 feet, causing the painful symptoms experienced by the passengers. The airline released a statement acknowledging the issue and offering an apology. "We sincerely apologize to our customers for their experience." The flight crew followed procedures to return to Salt Lake City, where our ground teams supported customers with their immediate needs. Once the plane touched down back at Salt Lake City International Airport, medical personnel were already waiting on the tarmac. Emergency responders and medical staff quickly boarded the plane to assess the passengers. While some passengers needed no further assistance, at least 10 people were evaluated or treated for symptoms related to the loss of cabin pressure. Thankfully, there were no reports of life-threatening injuries, but the experience left many shaken. For Delta, this incident was yet another hiccup in what had already been a rough few weeks for the airline. Just days earlier, 2 Delta planes had collided on the ground at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, sparking further concerns about safety protocols. Now, with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, launching an investigation into the pressurization issue on Flight 1930, Delta was facing additional scrutiny. Technicians swiftly went to work, examining the plane and investigating what had caused the malfunction. They were able to repair the pressurization system, and the plane was cleared for service the following day. However, for the passengers of that flight, the incident would remain a lasting memory. In interviews following the ordeal, many passengers expressed gratitude for the professionalism of the crew, but shared how unsettling the experience had been. "I've flown a lot in my life, but I've never experienced anything like this," said Purser. "When you're in the air and something like that happens, you feel helpless. It was really scary." Others echoed her sentiment, praising the crew's quick response, but also acknowledging how vulnerable they felt in the air. "We trust the systems on these planes to work, and when they don't, it's terrifying," one passenger commented. For passengers who were simply looking forward to a routine flight, this incident was a stark reminder of the unexpected dangers that can arise in air travel. Despite the advancements in aviation technology, the risk of mechanical failures still looms, though rare. The FAA's investigation aims to determine the exact cause of the pressurization issue and ensure that similar incidents are prevented in the future. Delta Airlines, meanwhile, has committed to reviewing the findings and taking any necessary steps to enhance safety protocols. As Flight 1930's passengers return to their regular lives, many will carry with them the memory of that harrowing flight. Some, like Purser, have vowed to continue flying, but will never forget the moments of panic in the air. Others may take a break from air travel, at least until the initial fear fades. Ultimately, this incident serves as both a cautionary tale and a testament to the resilience of passengers and crew alike. While the unexpected can always happen, it's the quick-thinking actions of the flight team and emergency personnel on the ground that help prevent a potentially worse outcome. And for that, the passengers of Flight 1930 will always be thankful.